Okay, welcome to RedDeckWinning.com. We've got a playtesting session here with Aggro. We're going to be playing against a Borzhov midrange deck with Desecration Demon, removal, some burn. This was a good match. Usually I don't do very well against this deck so far, but anything's winnable with this deck. You put a clock on them, it's like any mono aggro or any aggro deck. It's gonna have potential. I kept a really risky one-lander here. Normally in a tournament, I think I probably would have pitched this, but having the two one-drops, having pretty much all playable spells on turn 2, I gave it a shot, and it's playtesting, so we'll see how the deck functions, how it draws lands. Cockatrice Shuffler, you never know, anyways. So. I lead with Fire Drinker Satyr here because if they have Sylvan Carotid, or if they are playing a control deck, or something like Borzhov where they may not have a turn 2 or turn 3 play, you can get free damage in a lot of times, and that's probably more important than playing the Cackler, because even if you're playing against an aggro deck, you're still going to want to play your 1-drops. He can be the worst or the best one, it just really depends, but either way I think he's what you want to lead with first the majority of the time. Because if they do play Carotid, that's usually very meaningful, because most of the time they won't block him when he's out, and then you will get damage that's very crucial to that match in. Okay, so here we've got a situation where we can catch up if we can get another land, play Burning Tree into some stuff. I made some mistakes here, and I'm going to outline them a little bit here. He's land screwed right now. I'm land screwed. He's not very happy, but it happens. And like I mentioned, this shuffler is not great either. 20 lands in this deck is a risk. Okay, so that's what we wanted to see. So what happens here now, I'm going to play my Burning Tree into Fire Fist Striker, which I've thought about for a while, and it's actually the wrong play here, for sure. I knew there was Anger. I knew that if he played Anger, he'd have to shock himself like he does here, and that would be really awful for me, so I didn't play around Anger even though I knew it was in existence. What I should have done was played Skylasher at the end of his turn, try to force him to Anger with just my 2 guys on the board, and so then I would get to play Skylasher at the end of turn. On my turn I would be able to Burning Tree into Fire Fist, and I'd have basically Battalion ready to go for 2 turns later. But I didn't do that, and it happens. I shouldn't have done that, because a 4-for-1 against Borzhov is really bad. So led with Skylasher here, really doesn't matter. Fire Fist is not going to get online this minute anyways. And you'll see here that he has just all the removal in the world. I mean, 7 cards in his hand, that Anger really set me back, especially the fact that he was land screwed. So, I was really surprised that he Hero Downfall of Fire Fist. I guess that's the one you're more concerned about, and he has the removal for the other one anyways, so. So I was mentioning this before when I was trying to narrate this and it didn't work, but this deck is so aggressive that even if you do have go against a removal heavy hand like he's had here, and even if you do make a few play mistakes, he's at 6 life. So, and you have a mitt full of burn, you have more burn in the deck. It's there's options here. Searing Blood is really, I think that's one of the most influential cards right now in Standard, because we didn't really gain much for when Born of the Gods came out, but it swings the damage race by those critical life points that you needed. Red deck was just a little far behind some decks. So he plays Demon here, and Fire Drinker, I don't have a lot of plays here. I mean, I have the burn here, obviously, and I kind of sat and tanked on this one for a while, trying to figure out what I was going to play. I was really hoping that he's going to play a Whip here. I was thinking about it during the game. I'm like, if he plays Whip, I can Revelry, and then I can strike him and basically hit him with any other dude. So I play Reckoner here to see what he does with Demon. I figure he's going to attack me with it anyways. If he plays Whip, I can sack Fire Drinker to it. So this was all going through my head right now as I'm trying to make this decision. And I figured Reckoner's a big enough threat that he has to have the right spot removal to kill it, otherwise it's just going to do lethal to him. Not trying to spoil the game here, but I thought it was really interesting because I'm like, he's going to play a Whip, and then sure enough, the absolute best scenario. This is one of the reasons I play the one of Destructive Revelry in the main, because I've seen a lot of enchantments, a lot of enchantment artifacts, a lot of enchantment creatures, especially in Testing Journey. There's been more of it, and it's just largely not dead that much. I mean, even against stuff that's, you know, indestructible, you can still target it, and even though you can't kill it, you can still do 2 damage to them. So it's basically just another Searing Blood in your deck. And that is game 1, folks.